What are you doing here?
I brought Elizabeth some flowers. I ran into the nanny outside. She was taking the kids to Windermere. Said I could let myself in as long as I locked up. I was gonna leave a note.
Oh, I didn't realize Cam and Aiden were going back out to Windermere again.
Elizabeth probably forgot to tell you. Grief makes people forgetful. When I lost Georgie, I was a total wreck. Anyway, I wanted to thank you and Elizabeth again for choosing to donate Jake's organs. Flowers were the least I could do. How are you doing, by the way? You spending a lot of time around here?
No, not much. I've been mostly working.
Working helps.
Yeah, sort of. I know I should probably be more present with Elizabeth. I can't stand to see the pain in her eyes, you know? Also, I don't want to face the possibility of her blaming me for Jake's death.
Why would Elizabeth blame you? You didn't have any idea this could happen.
I should have done something a long time ago. I mean, I'm an addict, you know? If there's a gene for addiction, I got it from my dad, and I knew he was driving drunk for years. But for whatever reason, it didn't matter. And now this happens.
You're being pretty hard on yourself.
You know, Maxie, I can't even remember a time when my dad didn't have a drink in his hand, or at least one nearby.
And I don't ever think I've seen Luke drunk.
Well, he hides it well. It doesn't mean he's not impaired.
Lucky, you can't blame yourself for what Luke does. It's not like you go out and buy him alcohol like I used to buy you pills.
You remember what I was like with you? How I would rationalize everything and justify, and I refused to accept what was right in front of me. That's exactly what my dad's doing right now, exactly.
You cannot blame yourself for what other people do.
I appreciate that, but I should have done something, or at least said something.
Stop! Guilt is such a waste of an emotion. It doesn't help anything, it doesn't solve the problem, it just keeps you stuck where you are. The best thing that you can do is try to forgive yourself and move forward.
Everything all right?
I brought flowers, but I'm leaving. Think about what I said.
Okay. Hey, what's going on? How's Elizabeth?
She's trying to maintain, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah. It would be good for her if you saw her, I think.
That's why I stopped by. I know I haven't been around much lately. I mean, it's not because I don't want to be there for her. It's just that I've known that my dad is an alcoholic for years. You know, I've known that he drives under the influence occasionally, and I didn't do anything about it. I'm afraid Elizabeth's going to blame me for this whole thing.
Lucky, we're all guilty of looking away from Luke's drinking. We've even romanticized it. We're all culpable.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm his son. I'm probably the only one that he might have listened to, and I didn't say a damn thing. Hey, Steve, come on in. Is everything okay with Elizabeth?
Beyond losing Jake and wondering where the hell his father is. I know it's tough on you, but this is just as hard for my sister, and you've been almost completely absent.
Look, man, I went over there earlier today. She wasn't home.
That's not good enough, Lucky. Whatever's happened between you and Elizabeth, you signed on to raise Jake. You're his parents, and you need to support each other.
Look, if Elizabeth partly blames me for this, I would
She doesn't.
understand.
She thinks you blame her, and even if that's true, you need to find a way.
Of course it's not. I don't blame her. I'm the one who left her with all three boys at the last minute. I didn't give her any warning. I just told her at work.
Okay, so it wasn't one of your sensitive male days, but you didn't cause the accident.
No. No, that would be my father. But I am partly responsible for the state he's in. I mean, I turned a blind eye to his addiction, never confronted him. And you know, if Elizabeth had treated me that way when I was using, I'd probably be dead right now. But she didn't. She did everything she could to help me get clean, and eventually it worked. If I'd have done the same thing for my dad, if I'd have really fought for him, Jake might still be alive. If I could help Elizabeth through this, I would. But on some level, she has to be disappointed in me for how I've dealt with my father's addiction.
Okay. I'm not a shrink. But I've been supervising doctors with God complexes for a pretty long time. And I've learned that blaming yourself and saying that Jake would have survived if you had done this or if you hadn't done that, it's just a way of trying to control the situation.
You know, letting go of what I can't control is one of the 12 steps.
Is there a step called getting over yourself? Because that's what you have to do. My sister needs you. Now, as much as she ever did that night in the park when she was a teenager. She needs her hero back. Maybe not forever, but for a little while.
I can't be anybody's hero, especially Elizabeth's.
Don't complicate this, Lucky. No one's asking you to make everything all right. All you have to do is look Elizabeth in the eye and start by telling her that you don't blame her. Can you do that?
Hi.
Hey.
Your father needs you.
Is he on fire?
No.
Then he can wait.
Lucky, you can't possibly blame your father as much as he blames himself.
He's gonna do what he's gonna do.
I understand that you're angry. But he's in serious trouble. And he needs your help, and I'm afraid that something really bad is going to happen.
I don't get to decide anything about my dad. If he wants to burn down the haunted star or blow it sky high, it's not my call.
Lucky, Luke is in so much pain he doesn't know what he wants.
Well, that's good. Because he needs to bottom out before he can get sober.
Go talk to him.
Look, it's enough for me to be responsible for my own sobriety right now, okay? If I go over there again and pick up a drink, I'll be no good to my dad or anyone else.
I'm not telling you you have to be responsible for your father. I'm just being realistic. Lucky, he is your father. You've just lost your son. If you walk away from Luke, you lose your father too.
Come in. Okay. First of all, I did not break into your house. I saw your nanny outside, and she said I could let myself in. Now, I know I'm not your favorite person. I have a pretty good idea why you called me.
If you took that envelope to blackmail me, then...
Elizabeth, I would never... I could actually see how you might think that. But I only took the envelope because I didn't want Lucky to see it. You can have it back.
Thank you. And thank you for the flowers. It's very thoughtful of you.
Who else knows about this?
Just you and me.
Okay, I am the queen of bad choices. However, don't you think that Lucky deserves to know about this? How can you let him grieve so hard over losing Jake when you know that Aiden is really his son?